When you are greatly anointed by God, it is not an outward proclamation, but an inner knowing that radiates from your being. This anointing is not something you can strive for through human effort or outward actions, but rather a deep awareness of God's presence within you. As you come to recognize this divine connection, certain signs begin to emerge in your life, revealing the power of your anointing. These signs are subtle, yet powerful, and they confirm that the hand of God is upon you, guiding you toward your highest purpose. When you are greatly anointed by God, one of the most profound signs that His presence is upon you is the deep and unshakable peace that resides within you, even in the midst of turmoil. This peace is not something you acquire through external means or that can be easily disrupted by the changing circumstances of life. It is a peace that transcends all understanding, rooted in the very essence of the divine. It is not dependent on what happens around you, but rather what is happening within you. This peace is not simply the absence of conflict or trouble, it is the calm in the storm, the unwavering stillness at the core of your being that remains unaffected by the chaos of the external world. When the world seems to crumble around you, this inner peace allows you to stand firm, knowing that nothing in the external world can shake the foundation of your spirit. This peace is a divine gift, an inherent part of the anointing that God has placed upon you. It flows not from your own strength or ability, but from the very presence of God within you. It is a peace that whispers to your soul that all is well, even when everything seems to be falling apart. You may face challenges, setbacks, and trials, but with this peace you know that you are never alone and you are always supported by a higher power. This inner peace that accompanies the anointing is not something that can be fully explained in words. It must be experienced to be understood. It is the kind of peace that people around you may notice and wonder about. They may see you go through difficult situations, and yet you remain calm, centered, and unshaken. They may question how you can remain so composed when others would be overwhelmed, anxious, or fearful. This peace is a testimony to the presence of God in your life. It is a sign that His hand is upon you and that you are living under His divine protection. In the moments of deepest turmoil, when everything around you seems to be unraveling, this peace anchors you. It keeps you grounded in the truth that God is in control, even when the circumstances suggest otherwise. You begin to understand that there is a divine order to everything, even the challenges and trials that come your way. You no longer view difficulties as random or senseless, but as part of a greater plan that is working for your highest good. This understanding brings with it a profound sense of peace, because you know that no matter what happens, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for your benefit. This peace is also rooted in trust in God's timing, trust in His wisdom, and trust in His love. You no longer feel the need to control or manipulate the circumstances of your life. Instead, you surrender to the flow of divine will, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You let go of the need to worry about the future or dwell on the past, because you are fully present in the now, trusting that God is guiding you every step of the way. This trust brings a deep sense of relief and calm, because you realize that you do not have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are not responsible for making everything work out on your own. You simply need to align with the divine plan and allow God to take care of the details. So, as you walk in this peace, you begin to notice that your perspective on life changes. You no longer react to situations with fear or anxiety, but with faith and confidence. You understand that even the challenges you face are opportunities for growth and transformation. You no longer see obstacles as roadblocks, but as stepping stones on your journey to becoming who God has called you to be. This peace gives you the strength to face whatever comes your way, knowing that it is all part of the process of becoming more aligned with the divine purpose for your life. One of the most beautiful aspects of this peace is that it is contagious. As you carry this peace within you, it begins to affect those around you. People who come into contact with you may begin to feel more at ease, more relaxed, and more centered. Your presence becomes a source of calm for others, even in the midst of their own turmoil. This is not something you consciously do, but a natural result of the peace that flows from within you. It is as if the peace of God within you creates an atmosphere of tranquility wherever you go. Others may not be able to explain why they feel more peaceful in your presence, but they are drawn to the calm energy you exude. This peace also enables you to navigate relationships with more grace and patience. When you are at peace within yourself, you are less likely to be reactive or defensive in your interactions with others. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself or assert your ego because you are secure in your identity as a child of God. This inner security allows you to approach others with compassion and understanding, even in difficult situations. You are able to listen more deeply, respond more thoughtfully, and extend grace more freely. This creates harmony in your relationships as others feel seen, heard, and valued in your presence. Even in times of conflict, this peace allows you to remain calm and composed. You are able to step back from the situation and see it from a higher perspective. You understand that conflict is often a result of misunderstanding or fear, and you approach it with the intention of bringing resolution and healing, rather than escalating the tension. This does not mean that you avoid confrontation or allow yourself to be mistreated. Rather, it means that you handle conflict with wisdom and grace, seeking to bring about the best possible outcome for all involved. This peace also brings with it a sense of contentment. When you are greatly anointed by God, you no longer feel the constant need to strive for more or to achieve success by the world's standards. You are content with where you are, knowing that God's plan for your life is unfolding perfectly. You no longer feel the pressure to compare yourself to others or to chase after things that do not bring lasting fulfillment. Instead, you find joy and satisfaction in the simple things, in the quiet moments of connection with God, and in the knowledge that you are living in alignment with His will. This contentment does not mean that you become complacent or passive, but rather that you move through life with a sense of ease and flow. You pursue your goals and dreams with passion and purpose, but without the anxiety or stress that often accompanies the pursuit of worldly success. You trust that God will provide for your needs and that everything you require to fulfill your purpose will come to you in the right time and in the right way. This trust frees you from the constant need to strive and allows you to enjoy the journey, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. As you continue to walk in this peace, you become more attuned to the voice of God within you. You begin to recognize the subtle nudges and whispers that guide you on your path. You are no longer distracted by the noise of the world or the demands of your ego, because you are centered in the stillness of your soul. In this stillness you find clarity, direction, and purpose. You begin to see the world through the eyes of the divine, and your life becomes a reflection of the peace that resides within you. This peace is not something that can be taken away from you because it is not dependent on external circumstances. It is a gift from God, a sign of His anointing upon your life. As long as you remain connected to the divine source within you, this peace will continue to flow, guiding you through every season of life. It will sustain you through the highs and the lows, the joys and the sorrows, the triumphs and the trials. It is a peace that endures because it is rooted in the eternal, unchanging presence of God. This inner peace is one of the greatest gifts of the anointing. It is a reminder that you are not alone, that you are always supported by a power greater than yourself. It is a sign that God's hand is upon you, guiding you, protecting you, and leading you toward your highest purpose. As you walk in this peace, you become a living testament to the power of God's presence in the world. You become a vessel of His love, His grace, and His peace, touching the lives of those around you and bringing light to a world in need. The second sign that you are greatly anointed by God is the experience of divine intuition and insight, a heightened sense of knowing that comes from a source beyond your conscious mind. This is not simply intellectual understanding or knowledge gained through study or experience. It is a deep, inner knowing that transcends logic and reasoning. Divine intuition is a direct connection to the mind of God, and when you are anointed, this connection becomes increasingly clear and strong. You find yourself receiving insights, ideas, and guidance that seem to come out of nowhere, yet they feel profoundly right, as if they were always there, waiting to be recognized. When you are greatly anointed, this divine intuition manifests in various ways. You may suddenly have a sense of what you should do in a particular situation, without needing to weigh the pros and cons or deliberate over the decision. This is not recklessness or impulsiveness, rather. It is a deep trust in the inner guidance that flows from your connection with the divine. It is as if the answers come to you effortlessly, bypassing the usual processes of thought and analysis. You simply know what to do, where to go, and how to proceed, and this knowing is accompanied by a sense of peace and confidence. This intuitive guidance often shows up in unexpected moments during quiet times of reflection, in prayer, or even in the midst of daily activities. You might be going about your day when suddenly a thought or idea flashes across your mind, and you realize it holds the key to a question or problem you've been pondering. This insight comes with a sense of certainty and clarity, as if it has been divinely placed within your awareness. There is no need to question or doubt it, because it resonates deeply within your soul. It feels as though it has come from a place beyond your own thinking, a higher divine source that knows what is best for you. This intuition often guides you in ways that are aligned with your higher purpose. It steers you away from situations, relationships, or decisions that may not serve your highest good, and it leads you toward opportunities that are meant for your growth and fulfillment. When you follow this guidance, you begin to see how divinely orchestrated your life becomes. Events and opportunities unfold in ways that seem almost magical, as if everything is falling into place without you having to force or manipulate outcomes. This is the power of divine intuition at work, aligning you with God's plan for your life. This sense of discernment can also extend to your relationships. When you are greatly anointed, you may find that you are able to sense the intentions and energies of others more clearly. You may be able to perceive when someone is being dishonest, when a situation is not in your best interest, or when someone's actions are aligned with love and truth. This does not lead to judgment or separation, but rather to a greater awareness of the energies at play in your life. It allows you to make decisions with wisdom, protecting yourself from harm, while also extending grace and understanding to others. Divine intuition is also closely linked to creativity and inspiration. When you are anointed, you may find that you are filled with creative ideas and visions that seem to flow effortlessly from within you. Whether you are an artist, writer, teacher, or entrepreneur, this divine inspiration fuels your work, allowing you to create from a place of deep alignment with the divine. You may find that the ideas you receive are not only innovative and original, but also serve a higher purpose, uplifting others and bringing light into the world. This creativity is not something you have to force or struggle to access. It flows naturally from your connection with God's presence within you. This sense of divine intuition often reveals itself in your ability to solve problems or find solutions in ways that are unconventional or unexpected. When faced with a challenge, you may suddenly receive an insight or idea that leads you to a solution you had not previously considered. This is because your intuition allows you to tap into a higher perspective, one that sees beyond the limitations of the physical world. You are able to see possibilities and opportunities where others may only see obstacles. This is the wisdom of God working through you, providing you with the answers and guidance you need to navigate life's challenges. This does not mean that you become isolated or disconnected from others, rather. It means that you are able to approach life with a greater sense of confidence and self-assurance. You no longer need to seek external validation or approval, because you know that you are being guided by a divine source that knows what is best for you. This inner knowing becomes your compass, allowing you to navigate life with grace, ease, and trust. You begin to see that everything you need, the answers, the solutions, the direction, is already within you, waiting to be revealed through your connection with God. As you continue to grow in your anointing, this sense of divine intuition becomes more and more refined. You may find that you are able to receive guidance not only for yourself but also for others. This is not about controlling or influencing the lives of those around you, but rather about being a vessel through which divine wisdom can flow. You may find that you are able to offer words of encouragement, insight, or guidance to others in a way that resonates deeply with their soul. This is because you are not speaking from your own limited perspective, but from the wisdom of the divine that flows through you. This ability to offer guidance and insight to others is a sign of your anointing, and it is a gift that should be used with humility and grace. You are not the source of this wisdom, you are simply a channel through which it flows. As you continue to walk in this anointing, you become more attuned to the voice of God within you, and you are able to share that wisdom with others in a way that uplifts and empowers them. You become a beacon of light, guiding others toward their own connection with the divine. This divine intuition also brings with it a sense of timing. When you are anointed, you begin to understand the importance of divine timing, and you learn to trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. You no longer feel the need to rush or force outcomes because you know that God's timing is perfect. You trust that the answers, the opportunities, and the solutions will come to you at the right time, and you are able to wait with patience and faith. This trust in divine timing brings a sense of peace and calm because you know that everything is unfolding according to God's plan. Divine intuition is not something that can be forced or manufactured. It is a gift that comes from your connection with God. The more you cultivate this connection, the more clearly you will hear the voice of God within you. This requires time spent in prayer, meditation, and quiet reflection, allowing yourself to tune out the noise of the world and listen to the still, small voice within. As you do this, you will find that your intuition becomes sharper and more accurate, guiding you with increasing clarity and precision. Divine intuition and insight are powerful signs of your anointing by God. They are not based on intellectual understanding or external knowledge, but on a deep inner knowing that comes from your connection with the divine. This intuition guides you in all areas of your life, providing you with the wisdom, clarity, and direction you need to fulfill your purpose. It allows you to navigate life with grace and confidence, trusting in the guidance you receive from within. As you continue to walk in this anointing, your intuition will only grow stronger, leading you ever closer to the realization of your highest potential. The third sign that you are greatly anointed by God is the manifestation of divine favor in your life. Divine favor is the unmistakable sign that you are walking under God's grace, and it shows up as blessings and opportunities that seem to come to you with ease, often against all odds or expectations. When you are greatly anointed, doors open for you that remain closed for others. Circumstances seem to align in your favor, and you find yourself receiving blessings that you didn't even ask for or expect. This favor is not something you can earn or manipulate. It is a gift that flows naturally from the hand of God, evidence of His divine presence in your life. Divine favor is often seen in the way that things work out for you, even in situations where success seemed unlikely or impossible. You may find that the obstacles that once stood in your way begin to disappear, or that new paths open up before you just when you need them most. This is not a matter of coincidence or luck, but the manifestation of God's plan for your life. When you are anointed, you are aligned with His will, and His favor follows you wherever you go. This favor can manifest in various aspects of your life. In your career, you might experience unexpected promotions, new job opportunities, or recognition for your work that you never sought out. You may find that clients, colleagues, or superiors are drawn to you, recognizing the unique gifts and talents that God has given you. The work you do is blessed, and the impact you make extends far beyond what you could have achieved on your own. It's as if a divine hand is guiding your professional path, ensuring that you are placed in the right situations to maximize your potential and fulfill your purpose. In your personal relationships, divine favor may show up as a sense of harmony and support from those around you. You might attract people who genuinely care for you, who uplift and encourage you, and who help you to grow in your walk with God. Toxic relationships or situations that once drained your energy or pulled you away from your purpose may begin to fade away, replaced by connections that are rooted in love, understanding, and spiritual growth. This is not a matter of chance, but a reflection of the divine favor upon your life, drawing you into relationships that are aligned with God's plan for you. Financially, divine favor often manifests in ways that are both surprising and abundant. You may find that resources come to you from unexpected places, or that you receive financial blessings that you weren't even looking for. This could be in the form of a financial windfall, a new job opportunity, or even simply finding that your needs are met in ways that you could not have predicted. Divine favor doesn't necessarily mean that you will become wealthy, but it does mean that you will always have what you need. God's provision is abundant, and when you are walking in His anointing, you can trust that He will take care of you. The favor of God also brings protection. When you are anointed, you may notice that you are shielded from harm, even in situations where danger seems imminent. You might narrowly avoid accidents, sickness, or other negative circumstances that could have derailed your life. This divine protection is a sign of God's favor upon you, ensuring that you are kept safe and secure as you continue to walk in your anointing. This protection doesn't mean that you will never face challenges, but it does mean that God's hand is always over you, guiding you through difficult situations and keeping you from harm. Another way divine favor manifests is through the timing of events in your life. You may find that certain opportunities or blessings come to you at exactly the right moment, just when you need them. This perfect timing is a hallmark of divine favor. It's as if the universe itself is conspiring to bring about the best possible outcomes for you. You might be facing a difficult situation or a moment of uncertainty, only to have an unexpected solution or opportunity present itself. This is the favor of God, ensuring that everything happens according to His perfect timing and plan. When you are greatly anointed, people may also notice the favor of God upon your life, even if they don't fully understand it. They may remark on how things always seem to work out for you, or how you seem to attract good fortune. This is not to say that you won't experience challenges or setbacks. Everyone does, but even in those moments, divine favor ensures that you rise above them. The people around you can't help but notice that something is different about you, that you are blessed in a way that transcends mere human effort. With divine favor comes a sense of ease and flow in your life. While others may struggle and strive to achieve their goals, you may find that things come to you with less effort. This is not because you are lazy or don't put in the work. On the contrary, you are diligent and committed to your calling, but the difference is that your efforts are blessed by God. You are not working alone, you are co-creating with the divine, and this partnership allows you to achieve far more than you could on your own. The blessings that flow to you are a reflection of this divine collaboration. At the same time, divine favor doesn't mean that you won't face difficulties or challenges. However, even in the midst of trials, you will find that God's favor sustains you. When others are overwhelmed by hardship, you are given the strength to endure and rise above it. Doors may close, but new ones will open in ways that are far better than you could have imagined. God's favor ensures that every setback is only temporary, and that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and greater blessings. As you continue to walk in your anointing, you may also find that the favor of God positions you to be a blessing to others. When you are greatly favored, you are not meant to hoard those blessings for yourself. Instead, you are called to use your position, your resources, and your influence to uplift and bless those around you. The more you give, the more you receive, as the divine flow of favor continues to increase in your life. This is one of the most powerful aspects of divine favor. It multiplies when shared. As you pour out blessings onto others, you create a cycle of abundance that continues to return to you many times over. The favor of God also brings a deep sense of peace and contentment. When you are walking in divine favor, you are not constantly striving or worrying about the future. You know that you are taken care of, that God's plan for your life is unfolding exactly as it should. This trust allows you to let go of anxiety and fear, and to live with a sense of peace, knowing that everything is working out for your good. This peace is one of the most precious gifts of divine favor, because it allows you to live with a sense of joy and fulfillment, no matter what circumstances you may face. The manifestation of divine favor is a powerful sign that you are greatly anointed by God. It shows up in your life as blessings, opportunities, protection, and perfect timing, all of which are evidence of God's presence and grace upon you. This favor is not something that can be earned or manipulated. It is a gift that flows naturally from your connection with the divine. As you walk in this favor, you will find that your life unfolds with ease and grace, and that you are blessed in ways that far exceed your expectations. The favor of God is a reflection of His love and purpose for you, and it is a sure sign that you are walking in His anointing. The fourth sign that you are greatly anointed by God is the supernatural wisdom and discernment you possess. When you are anointed, you are given insight and understanding beyond your natural abilities. This divine wisdom allows you to see things from a higher perspective, perceive truths hidden to others, and make decisions that align with God's will. It's not merely human intellect or experience, but a spiritual gift that provides clarity, guidance, and the ability to navigate complex situations with grace and confidence. Supernatural wisdom isn't something you acquire through study alone. It flows from a deep connection with God. When you are greatly anointed, the Spirit of God works within you, offering insights that others may not see or understand. You are given the ability to discern the right path when faced with choices, to see through illusions or deceit, and to understand situations with a spiritual depth that transcends surface-level perceptions. This wisdom enables you to make decisions that not only benefit your life but also reflect God's purpose. In your personal life, this supernatural wisdom often manifests in your relationships and interactions with others. You have the ability to sense people's intentions, to read between the lines, and to understand what is truly going on beneath the surface. Whether it's in a personal or professional context, you can discern the hearts of others, knowing when someone's words don't match their true intentions, or when someone genuinely needs your help, even if they haven't expressed it outwardly. This discernment helps you navigate relationships with care, avoiding those who might try to harm you or lead you astray, while embracing those who share your values and seek your good. Moreover, this wisdom empowers you to speak truth into the lives of others. People may come to you for advice, not because you have all the answers, but because they sense that you are tuned into something greater. You are able to offer counsel that speaks directly to their hearts and their needs, often giving them clarity in areas where they felt confusion. When you are greatly anointed, your words carry weight not because of who you are, but because of the divine wisdom flowing through you. You become a vessel for God's truth, speaking words that resonate with power, understanding, and compassion. This supernatural wisdom also manifests in your ability to understand spiritual truths and mysteries. The anointed are often given insight into the deeper meanings behind the scriptures, life events, and spiritual principles. You may find that when you read scripture, you are able to grasp its meaning in a way that feels fresh and profound. It's as though God Himself is revealing hidden truths to you, truths that are meant to guide you and help you fulfill your purpose. This is one of the most powerful aspects of divine wisdom. It draws you closer to God by unveiling the deeper layers of spiritual understanding. When you are greatly anointed, you may also notice that you have an uncanny ability to make decisions with ease, even in the midst of uncertainty. While others might agonize over difficult choices, you find that the path forward is clear. This is not because you are more intelligent or capable than others, but because you are in tune with God's guidance. You trust the wisdom that He has given you, and as a result, you are able to move forward with confidence, even when you don't have all the answers. This trust in divine wisdom leads to outcomes that align with God's purpose, bringing about peace and success in your endeavors. This wisdom also allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. When faced with challenges, the anointed have a unique ability to see past the immediate difficulties and recognize the long-term potential. You understand that every trial is an opportunity for growth, and every setback is a chance to refine your character and deepen your faith. This perspective comes from the wisdom that God imparts, helping you to navigate life's challenges with patience and resilience. You're able to remain calm in the storm, knowing that God is in control and that His wisdom will lead you through. In business or career, supernatural wisdom gives you the ability to make decisions that bring success and favor. Whether it's choosing the right business partners, investing in the right opportunities, or knowing when to pivot or change direction, your decisions are guided by divine insight. This wisdom often results in doors opening that others might not have noticed, or success in areas where others have failed. It's not that you have all the answers from a worldly perspective, but rather that God is guiding your steps, giving you the insight and discernment to move forward in faith. Supernatural discernment is also critical in recognizing spiritual warfare and understanding the unseen forces at play in your life. When you are greatly anointed, you are acutely aware of the spiritual dimension of reality. You can sense when you are under attack, when negative energies or influences are trying to derail you from your purpose. But instead of succumbing to fear or anxiety, this discernment gives you the power to respond with prayer, faith, and spiritual authority. You understand that the battles you face are not merely physical or emotional, but spiritual, and you are equipped with the wisdom to overcome them through God's strength. This ability to discern spiritual forces also protects you from deception. In a world filled with distractions, false teachings, and illusions, the anointed are able to see clearly what is true and what is false. You can discern when something is not from God, even if it looks good on the surface. This protects you from being led astray by temptations, false promises, or misguided beliefs. Your connection with God's wisdom acts as a spiritual compass, keeping you on the path of truth and righteousness. One of the most powerful aspects of supernatural wisdom is its ability to align your desires with God's will. When you are greatly anointed, your heart begins to desire the things that God desires for you. Your will becomes aligned with His, and as a result, your decisions, actions, and goals reflect His divine plan for your life. This alignment brings about a sense of peace and fulfillment, because you are no longer struggling to achieve things that are outside of God's will for you. Instead, you are walking in harmony with His purpose, and this brings about blessings, success, and deep satisfaction. This wisdom also manifests in your prayer life. When you are anointed, your prayers are no longer limited to asking for what you think you need. Instead, you begin to pray in alignment with God's will. You understand that prayer is not about convincing God to do what you want, but about aligning yourself with His plans and purposes. This shift in perspective transforms your prayer life, making it more powerful and effective. Your prayers are guided by divine wisdom, and as a result, you see answers and breakthroughs that others may not experience. In times of crisis or difficulty, this supernatural wisdom allows you to maintain a sense of peace and trust in God's plan. While others may panic or lose hope, you are able to remain calm and centered, knowing that God is in control. This doesn't mean that you are immune to challenges, but it does mean that you have the wisdom to see the bigger picture. You understand that God is working all things together for your good, even when the situation seems bleak. This trust in divine wisdom allows you to move through life with confidence, knowing that everything is unfolding according to God's perfect plan. The supernatural wisdom and discernment you possess is one of the clearest signs that you are greatly anointed by God. This wisdom allows you to see beyond the surface, to understand spiritual truths, and to make decisions that align with God's will. It empowers you to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence, knowing that you are guided by a higher understanding. As you continue to walk in this anointing, you will find that your life unfolds in ways that reflect God's purpose, bringing about blessings, peace, and fulfillment beyond what you could have imagined. In conclusion, the 5 signs of being greatly anointed by God manifest in profound and life-transforming ways. First, your unwavering faith and trust in God's promises become a beacon of hope, guiding you through life's challenges with unshakable confidence. Second, you develop an extraordinary sense of peace and resilience, which shields you from fear and anxiety, even in the midst of turmoil. Third, you exhibit a supernatural boldness, empowered to take action in alignment with God's purpose, fearlessly pursuing your divine calling. Fourth, your supernatural wisdom and discernment enable you to see the truth, navigate difficult situations, and make decisions with clarity, aligning yourself with God's will. And finally, the unmistakable presence of God flows through you, radiating love, light, and healing to those around you. Each of these signs is a testament to your divine connection and the power of God's anointing in your life. These gifts are not merely for your benefit, but for the fulfillment of a greater purpose, one that brings healing, wisdom, and transformation to the world. As you walk in this anointing, you align yourself with God's ultimate plan, allowing His love and power to flow through you to impact others. This journey of being greatly anointed is one of deep faith, profound trust, and a lifelong commitment to living according to divine wisdom and purpose. Your anointing is both a privilege and a responsibility, for through it, you become an instrument of God's will on earth. Continue to nurture this connection, trust in His guidance, and live boldly in the light of His truth, for your life is a reflection of the divine, and your presence in this world is destined to create lasting, meaningful change. Imagination is not just a whimsical escape from reality, it is, in fact, the blueprint that constructs the world we live in. Every invention, every piece of art, and every transformation begins as a spark in the human mind, a vision formed through imagination. Your life, too, is the product of what you imagine. The circumstances you face, the achievements you experience, and even the struggles you encounter are born from the beliefs and images you hold within your mind. The reality you inhabit today was first shaped in the quiet recesses of your imagination. It is the foundation upon which your experiences rest, and by harnessing it with intention and clarity, you hold the power to change not only your present but also your future. The world as you know it begins in your mind. What you imagine, you create. Imagination is more than just a passing thought or a mental escape. It is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. Everything you experience, everything you see around you, first began as an image in your mind. Whether you realize it or not, your imagination is constantly shaping the world you inhabit. It operates as a blueprint, creating the conditions and circumstances that reflect what you think and believe most deeply. This is why understanding the power of imagination is so crucial. It is the gateway to transforming your reality. When you look around at the world, you might think that it is fixed, that circumstances are beyond your control. But this belief is an illusion. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror of your inner world, specifically the images you continuously entertain in your mind. These images, fueled by emotion, gradually take form and manifest as tangible experiences in your life. If you want to change your outer reality, you must first change the images you hold within. Imagination is limitless. It transcends the boundaries of logic, time, and space. In the realm of imagination, you are not constrained by what is considered possible or realistic. Instead, you are free to create, to envision anything and everything. This is why imagination is the blueprint for reality. It gives you the ability to shape your life in ways that defy ordinary expectations. The key, however, is not just to imagine idly, but to direct your imagination consciously toward the life you wish to live. The greatest discoveries and achievements in history were not brought into being by those who accepted reality as it was. Rather, they were made by individuals who imagined something different, something greater, and believed it was possible. They understood that imagination, when combined with belief, creates a force powerful enough to shape reality. What you imagine with conviction is what you bring into existence. But imagination by itself is not enough. You must cultivate the feelings and emotions associated with the reality you desire. This is where the concept of living in the end comes into play. To truly harness the power of your imagination, you must not only visualize your desired outcome, but also feel as though it has already come to pass. This feeling of the wish fulfilled is what bridges the gap between imagination and reality. It aligns your inner state with your external experience, bringing about the changes you seek. Many people believe that hard work, effort, and determination are the only paths to success. While these qualities are certainly valuable, they are not the most important factors in creating your reality. Imagination is far more powerful than sheer willpower because it bypasses the limitations of the physical world. When you rely solely on willpower, you are often met with resistance both from within and from the world around you. But when you use your imagination, you access a higher level of creativity and inspiration that allows you to overcome obstacles without struggle. Imagination opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. It creates opportunities where none seem to exist. It allows you to envision possibilities beyond what is currently visible or tangible. Through imagination, you can create new pathways, attract people and resources, and bring your deepest desires to life. You are not limited by your present circumstances because imagination operates in the realm of infinite potential. Doubt and fear are the greatest enemies of imagination. When you allow negative thoughts to cloud your mind, they weaken the images you hold within, making it more difficult for your desires to manifest. Doubt tells you that your vision is too far-fetched, that you are asking for too much, that it is impossible. But doubt is merely a product of your past experiences, which have no bearing on your future unless you allow them to. Imagination is always stronger than doubt, because it taps into the infinite possibilities of creation. When doubt arises, it is essential to shift your focus back to the vision of your desired outcome. The more you can immerse yourself in the feeling of having already achieved what you want, the more quickly you will see it reflected in your outer reality. One of the most effective ways to maintain a strong connection to your vision is through daily imaginative practice. Just as you would exercise your body to stay in shape, your imagination must be exercised to remain sharp and effective. Each day, take time to visualize your desired reality in vivid detail. Feel the emotions associated with that reality. Experience the joy, the satisfaction, and the fulfillment of having already achieved your goals. The more consistently you practice this, the more naturally it will come to you, and the more quickly your outer world will begin to shift. Imagination is not bound by time. What you visualize today may not materialize instantly, but rest assured it is already in the process of becoming. The seeds you plant in your imagination will grow, sometimes in ways you cannot yet foresee. Trust the process. Trust that what you desire is already on its way to you. When you live from the end, when you consistently imagine yourself as the person you wish to be, your reality will begin to mold itself to match that vision. Patience and persistence are essential in this process. Too often people give up on their vision because they do not see immediate results. But remember, your outer world is a delayed reflection of your inner state. It takes time for your imagination to fully manifest in the physical realm. The key is to remain steadfast, to continue nurturing your vision with faith and certainty, even when it seems as though nothing is happening. You will see the evidence of your imagination come to life. You will notice that the people, circumstances, and opportunities you once envisioned are now part of your everyday reality. It may seem like coincidence or luck, but in truth, it is the result of your deliberate use of imagination. You have always had the power to shape your reality from within, and now by understanding and practicing this truth, you can create a life that reflects your highest desires. Conscious creation is the art of deliberately and intentionally shaping your reality through the power of your thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. Unlike passive existence, where life happens by default, conscious creation puts you in the driver's seat of your own experience. It allows you to direct the energy of your mind to bring forth the reality you desire. The essence of conscious creation is the realization that you are the creator of your life, that your inner world manifests into the outer world, and that by choosing your thoughts with intention, you can transform your entire existence. At the heart of conscious creation is the understanding that everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. Whether you realize it or not, the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you feel are constantly shaping the circumstances and events you experience. Most people go through life unconsciously, reacting to whatever comes their way without understanding the power they hold within. They believe that life happens to them and they are powerless to change it. But conscious creation turns that idea upside down. It empowers you to realize that life is not something that happens to you, it's something you create from within. The first step in conscious creation is becoming aware of your thoughts and beliefs. Many of the thoughts that run through your mind on a daily basis are automatic and habitual, shaped by past experiences, cultural conditioning, and limiting beliefs. These unconscious thoughts often create a reality that is not aligned with your true desires. If you want to create the life you truly want, you must first become aware of the thoughts that are shaping your current reality. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about the world? What do I believe is possible for me? These beliefs are the foundation of your current reality, and they must be examined and transformed if you want to create something different. Once you become aware of your thoughts and beliefs, the next step is to consciously choose new ones that are in alignment with the reality you wish to create. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. Imagination allows you to see beyond your current circumstances and envision a new reality. It gives you the freedom to dream, to explore possibilities, and to create a mental picture of the life you desire. But imagination alone is not enough. You must also believe that what you imagine is possible for you. This requires a shift in mindset from doubt and limitation to faith and possibility. Faith is a crucial component of conscious creation. You must have faith in your ability to create the life you desire. This faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking, but a deep inner knowing that you are a powerful creator. It is the belief that the universe is always working in your favor, and that whatever you can imagine is already in the process of becoming. Faith allows you to hold on to your vision, even when the physical world does not yet reflect it. It gives you the strength to continue creating consciously, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Another essential aspect of conscious creation is the emotion you bring to your thoughts. It is not enough to simply think about what you want, you must feel it as though it is already yours. Emotion is the fuel that powers conscious creation. When you feel the emotions of having already achieved your desire, you align your inner state with the reality you wish to create. This emotional alignment is what brings your desires into physical form. The universe responds to your emotional state, not just your thoughts. When you feel joy, gratitude, and excitement about your desires, you are sending out a signal that attracts those experiences into your life. One of the biggest challenges people face in conscious creation is overcoming doubt and resistance. Doubt is a natural part of the process because your current reality may not yet reflect your desires. It can be difficult to believe in something that hasn't manifested yet, especially when the evidence around you seems to contradict your vision. But doubt is simply a product of your past conditioning, and it does not have to control your future. The key to overcoming doubt is to continue focusing on your desired reality, even when it seems far away. Trust that what you are creating is already in the process of becoming, even if you can't see it yet. Resistance often comes in the form of limiting beliefs and negative emotions. These are the internal blocks that prevent your desires from manifesting. For example, if you want to create financial abundance, but you have a deep-seated belief that money is hard to come by, this belief will create resistance and block the flow of abundance into your life. To overcome resistance, you must identify and release the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. This requires self-awareness and a willingness to let go of old patterns of thinking. As you release resistance, you create space for new possibilities to emerge. An important aspect of conscious creation is the idea of surrender. While it is essential to be clear about what you want and to focus on it with intention, it is equally important to surrender the how and when to the universe. Many people get caught up in trying to control every detail of how their desires will manifest, but this only creates tension and resistance. Surrendering means trusting that the universe knows the best way to bring your desires to fruition. It means letting go of the need to control the outcome and allowing the process to unfold naturally. When you surrender, you open yourself up to possibilities that you may not have considered and allow the universe to work its magic. Another key to conscious creation is consistency. Creating a new reality is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. You must consistently align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you wish to create. This requires daily practice and discipline. Each day, take time to focus on your desires. Visualize them as already accomplished and feel the emotions associated with their fulfillment. The more consistently you practice conscious creation, the more powerful your results will be. Conscious creation is also about taking inspired action. While your thoughts and emotions are powerful, they must be followed by action. But this action should not be forced or driven by fear. It should be inspired by the vision you hold in your mind. Inspired action feels natural and effortless. It is the kind of action that arises from a place of alignment with your desires. When you take inspired action, you are working in harmony with the universe, and things begin to flow more easily. In the process of conscious creation, it is important to stay open to the guidance of the universe. Sometimes the path to your desires may not look the way you expected. The universe has a way of delivering what you need in ways that you may not anticipate. This is why it is essential to stay flexible and open to the signs and synchronicities that show up along the way. Pay attention to the nudges and intuitive insights that come to you. They are often the universe's way of guiding you toward your desires. Imagination is the key to unlocking potential and manifesting desired outcomes. While willpower is often heralded as the driving force behind success, its power is limited compared to the boundless capabilities of imagination. Willpower focuses on sheer determination, discipline, and effort. It's about pushing through obstacles with force and grit. However, imagination transcends the need for brute force by allowing the mind to envision new possibilities, dream bigger, and tap into the vast creative energy within. Imagination creates a mental blueprint for what is desired and bypasses limitations, offering a more sustainable and effective path to success than relying solely on willpower. The reason imagination often surpasses willpower lies in the fundamental way both operate. Willpower, though effective in short bursts, requires constant effort and drains your mental and emotional reserves over time. It's like a muscle. Use it too much, and fatigue sets in. This is why so many people struggle to maintain long-term discipline when trying to change their habits or achieve their goals. They burn out, lose motivation, and eventually give up. Imagination, on the other hand, is regenerative. It fuels you with inspiration and excitement, keeps your mind engaged, and makes the process of achieving your goals enjoyable rather than grueling. When you vividly imagine your desired outcome, you bypass the need for relentless discipline and tap into the deeper, more powerful part of your mind, the subconscious. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to willpower in the same way it responds to imagination. While willpower forces action from a conscious level, imagination works directly with the subconscious, which governs 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. When you use your imagination to vividly picture a goal, your subconscious starts to believe that it's already true, setting into motion a series of events and actions that align with that vision. This process is often described as the law of attraction, but it's more than just a passive act of wishing. When your subconscious mind fully believes in a vision, it aligns your actions, decisions, and even your environment in ways that make the vision a reality. In this way, imagination leverages the power of the subconscious mind far more effectively than willpower ever could. One key reason that imagination is so powerful is its ability to create emotional resonance with your desired outcome. Willpower often requires you to force yourself to do things you don't necessarily enjoy. It's the mental push you give yourself to work harder, stick to a diet, or grind through a project. But this creates resistance because on some level you're doing something that feels like a struggle. Imagination, on the other hand, makes the process exciting and enjoyable. By vividly imagining the outcome you desire, you generate feelings of joy, excitement, and anticipation. You start to associate positive emotions with your goal, rather than feelings of strain or resistance. This positive emotional energy is what draws your desires toward you and makes the journey toward your goals feel effortless. Imagination also allows you to move beyond the limitations of logic and reason. Willpower often keeps you tied to what seems realistic or achievable based on your current circumstances. You tell yourself, I can only achieve this if I work hard enough, if I sacrifice enough, if I put in enough hours. While this mindset can yield results, it is inherently limiting because it's bound by the present reality. Imagination frees you from these constraints. It allows you to dream of possibilities beyond your current circumstances, beyond what seems logically feasible. It opens the door to innovation, creativity, and unexpected solutions that willpower alone could never conceive of. Imagination is where breakthroughs happen. It's where new ideas, inventions, and realities are born. When you imagine something, you make it possible, even if it seems impossible based on your current situation. Imagination leads to a state of flow, where the effort becomes seamless and actions become intuitive. Willpower often demands that you grind through challenges, creating friction between your goals and the actions required to achieve them. This approach can lead to stress, fatigue, and a sense of struggle. But when you engage your imagination, you tap into a flow state where your actions feel natural and almost effortless. You get into a rhythm where ideas and solutions come to you more easily. You're no longer fighting against the tide, you're moving with it. This state of flow is where true progress happens without the burnout associated with willpower-driven efforts. Willpower relies heavily on control and force, while imagination works through attraction and inspiration. Willpower tries to control circumstances through sheer determination, often creating resistance both internally and externally. You may encounter obstacles or setbacks, and when driven solely by willpower, you'll try to bulldoze through them. But this approach can leave you drained and frustrated, especially if things don't go as planned. Imagination, on the other hand, attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your vision. Instead of forcing your way through obstacles, you find that the path opens up more easily because you're operating in a state of alignment. You're no longer fighting against external conditions. Instead, you're working with the universe to bring your vision into reality. Imagination also allows you to tap into a wider spectrum of possibilities. Willpower can be rigid and focused on a singular outcome or goal, often leading to tunnel vision. You become so fixated on a specific path or result that you miss other opportunities that may be even better. Imagination, by contrast, opens up the space for endless possibilities. It allows you to explore different avenues, entertain new ideas, and adjust your goals as needed. It's a more flexible, creative, and adaptive approach to manifesting your desires. When you use your imagination, you stay open to the unexpected and remain adaptable to changing circumstances. This flexibility often leads to better outcomes than you initially envisioned. The role of imagination in shaping your identity is another critical aspect of its power. Willpower focuses on external actions and behaviors, what you do to achieve a goal. But imagination shapes who you are at your core. When you repeatedly visualize yourself achieving a goal, you begin to internalize that image. You start to see yourself as the person who has already accomplished that goal, and you begin to act in ways that align with this new identity. This internal shift is far more powerful than simply forcing yourself to take action through willpower. When you change your self-image through imagination, your actions naturally follow. You no longer have to push yourself to work hard or stay disciplined. It becomes a part of who you are. Imagination also gives you the freedom to explore your desires without the constraints of external judgment or limitations. Willpower often comes with a sense of obligation or pressure, either from yourself or others. You feel the need to achieve a goal because you believe you should or because society expects it. But imagination allows you to explore your true desires without the weight of obligation. It lets you dream freely and connect with what you genuinely want, rather than what you think you should want. This connection to your authentic desires is what makes the process of achieving them so much more fulfilling and meaningful. Living in the end is a powerful concept that reshapes how we approach our desires, goals, and dreams. At its core, it's the idea of embodying the state of having already achieved what we want, long before it has physically manifested in our reality. Instead of waiting for the external world to confirm our success or desires, we mentally, emotionally, and spiritually live as though those desires are already fulfilled. This approach fundamentally changes our perception of life and creates a shift in our energy that aligns with our dreams, accelerating their manifestation. When we live in the end, we bypass the uncertainty, doubt, and fear that often accompany our pursuits. Usually people operate from a mindset of "I will be happy" when they put their happiness and sense of fulfillment on hold, awaiting external conditions to align with their desires. Living in the end disrupts this conditional approach. Instead, it calls on you to feel and act as if you have already attained what you seek. By doing so, you bring the emotional and mental state of fulfillment into the present moment, collapsing the gap between desire and realization. The power of living in the end lies in its ability to align your inner world with your desired outcome. It's not just about pretending or wishful thinking, it's about truly feeling the emotions, adopting the mindset, and embodying the energy of someone who already has what they want. This creates a profound shift in your vibration and consciousness. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions begin to align with your desired reality, making it much more likely that you'll take inspired steps toward that goal. Our beliefs shape our reality, and living in the end rewires those beliefs. When we focus on what we lack or what we don't yet have, we reinforce the reality of lack. If you constantly think, I don't have enough money, I'm not successful, or I haven't found love, your subconscious mind absorbs these thoughts and reinforces them as truths in your life. But when you shift to living in the end, you replace those limiting beliefs with new ones. I am abundant, I am successful, I am loved. These new beliefs signal to your subconscious that your desired outcome is already your truth, and the subconscious begins to act accordingly. Living in the end is not about ignoring reality or denying the present circumstances. Instead, it's about choosing to focus on the internal experience of already having your desire fulfilled, which influences your perception of external circumstances. For example, if you're working toward financial abundance but are currently struggling, living in the end means cultivating the feelings of financial freedom now. It means making decisions as someone who is financially abundant. This shift in mindset transforms the way you handle money, opportunities, and even challenges, ultimately guiding you toward the financial reality you want to create. Another critical aspect of living in the end is the importance of faith. It requires trusting the unseen and believing in the power of your imagination and intention. Often people lose faith when they don't see immediate results or when external conditions seem unchanged. Living in the end requires persistence, even when the physical evidence hasn't yet caught up with the inner vision. The physical world is simply a reflection of your past thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. It may take time for your new mental state to manifest outwardly, but by consistently living in the end, you hold fast to your desired reality and trust that it will materialize in due time. The process of living in the end also helps eliminate the resistance that often blocks the manifestation of our desires. Resistance comes in many forms: doubt, fear, impatience, and attachment to specific outcomes. When you're attached to how or when something will manifest, you create tension and anxiety. But living in the end releases that attachment because you're already living as though your desire has been fulfilled. There's no need to worry about how it will come to pass because in your mind it already has. This relaxed state of certainty removes the resistance and allows the universe to flow more freely, delivering the desired outcome in the best possible way. Living in the end also shifts the focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. Often people chase goals because they seek validation from others or society. They want to prove themselves or gain recognition for their achievements. But living in the end shifts the emphasis from external approval to internal satisfaction. When you already feel successful, loved, or abundant within yourself, there's no need for outside validation. This inner fulfillment radiates outward, attracting the external success that matches your inner state of being. It's a powerful way to break free from the cycle of seeking approval and instead create a life that is truly aligned with your deepest desires. In essence, living in the end is about becoming the version of yourself who has already achieved what you want. It's about embodying that future self, now thinking like them, feeling like them, and acting like them. This creates a vibrational match with the reality you want to create, drawing it into your experience. By living in the end, you transform your relationship with time, desire, and action. You're no longer waiting for external circumstances to change, you're creating those changes from within. It's also important to remember that living in the end requires patience and persistence. You may not see immediate changes in your external world, and that's okay. The key is to maintain your internal state of fulfillment and trust the process. Doubt may creep in at times and challenges may arise, but by continually returning to the feeling of already having what you want, you strengthen your alignment with that reality. This concept can be applied to any area of life, whether it's love, career, health, or personal growth. If you desire a loving relationship, live as though you're already in that relationship. Cultivate feelings of love, appreciation, and connection within yourself. If you desire career success, live as though you've already achieved it. Think, feel, and act like the successful version of yourself. In doing so, you bring the energy of your desired outcome into the present moment, and the universe responds accordingly. Living in the end is about trusting the power of your imagination and belief. It's about realizing that your internal state creates your external reality. By embodying the emotions, thoughts, and mindset of someone who already has what they desire, you draw that reality to you. It's not a passive act of wishing, but an active process of becoming the person you need to be to attract the life you want. Overcoming doubt is one of the most crucial steps in manifesting your desires and living in alignment with your goals. Doubt acts as a barrier between your current reality and the future you wish to create. It whispers thoughts of uncertainty, telling you that what you desire may not be possible, that you are not worthy, or that the steps you are taking won't lead to the outcome you seek. In order to manifest the life you want, overcoming doubt is essential, because doubt not only weakens your belief in yourself, but also signals to the universe that you don't truly believe in your desires. Doubt often stems from past experiences, failures, or disappointments. When something didn't work out the way you had hoped, it can plant a seed of uncertainty in your mind. This seed can grow into a full-blown belief system where you expect things not to go your way. The key to overcoming doubt is recognizing that your past does not define your future. Every moment is a new opportunity to create a different outcome, and holding on to past failures only perpetuates a cycle of self-doubt. One of the most effective ways to overcome doubt is through self-awareness. You need to become conscious of the moments when doubt creeps into your thoughts. Pay attention to the inner dialogue that questions your abilities or dismisses your dreams as unrealistic. These thoughts often occur subconsciously, and they can influence your actions and emotions without you even realizing it. By becoming aware of these thoughts, you can start to challenge them. To challenge doubt, you must replace it with thoughts of certainty, trust, and faith in your vision. This doesn't mean you should deny the presence of doubt altogether, acknowledging it as part of the process, but rather, you must choose not to entertain it. Instead, replace doubtful thoughts with empowering ones. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "What if this doesn't work out?" replace it with, "I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good." This shift in mindset helps you redirect your focus from fear to faith. Another important aspect of overcoming doubt is building a strong belief in yourself and your ability to manifest your desires. Doubt often arises from a lack of confidence or a sense of unworthiness. You may doubt your ability to create the life you want, because deep down, you don't feel deserving of it. Overcoming this form of doubt requires inner work to build self-worth and a belief that you are worthy of your desires. This can be achieved through affirmations, self-love practices, and surrounding yourself with positive influences that reinforce your sense of worthiness. Visualization is another powerful tool in overcoming doubt. When you visualize your desired outcome, you immerse yourself in the feeling of already having achieved it. This creates a sense of certainty within you because your mind begins to accept the imagined outcome as a real possibility. Visualization helps you bypass doubt by allowing you to experience the emotions of success, fulfillment, and happiness in the present moment. The more you practice visualizing your desired reality, the less room doubt has to take hold. Living in the present moment also helps in overcoming doubt. Often doubt arises when we project our fears into the future, worrying about things that haven't happened yet. We start imagining all the ways things could go wrong, and this feeds our doubt. By grounding yourself in the present moment and focusing on what you can do right now, you reduce the power of these future-based fears. You can't control everything that happens in the future, but you can control your thoughts, emotions, and actions in the present moment. When you focus on the now, doubt loses its grip because it thrives on future uncertainties. Another strategy for overcoming doubt is to take small, consistent actions toward your goals. Doubt often paralyzes people into inaction because the gap between where they are and where they want to be seems too vast. But by breaking your goals down into smaller, manageable steps, you can build confidence with each action. Every small win adds to your belief in your ability to achieve your larger goals, and this gradually diminishes doubt. The more you see progress, the less room doubt has to exist. Surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people is also essential for overcoming doubt. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your beliefs and attitudes. If you spend time with people who constantly doubt their own abilities or criticize your dreams, it becomes much harder to overcome your own doubt. Conversely, when you're surrounded by individuals who believe in themselves and support your vision, their energy lifts you up and reinforces your belief in your abilities. Seek out a supportive community or mentors who have already achieved what you aspire to and can offer guidance and encouragement. It's important to recognize that doubt is a natural part of the human experience, especially when you're aiming to achieve something significant. Everyone experiences doubt at some point, and it's okay to feel uncertain or fearful. The difference lies in how you respond to that doubt. Successful people don't let doubt control their actions or derail their progress. Instead, they acknowledge it, understand it, and move forward despite it. Overcoming doubt doesn't mean it will never appear again, but it does mean that you won't allow it to dictate your actions. In moments when doubt feels overwhelming, remind yourself of past achievements. Reflect on times when you overcame challenges or succeeded despite initial uncertainty. This serves as a powerful reminder that you are capable of more than you may realize. Every time you face doubt and move forward anyway, you strengthen your resilience and your ability to navigate future uncertainties. Another critical component in overcoming doubt is trusting the process. Manifestation and personal growth often take time, and it's easy to doubt when results aren't immediate. However, the universe operates in its own time, and the seeds you plant today may take time to bear fruit. When you trust that everything is unfolding as it should, you free yourself from the need for immediate validation. Trust that the actions you take, combined with your inner work, are moving you toward your desired outcome, even if you can't see the results yet. Overcoming doubt also involves letting go of the need for control. Often we doubt because we want to know exactly how and when things will happen. We crave certainty, and when we don't have it, doubt creeps in. Letting go of the need for control allows you to trust in the flow of life. You may not have all the answers, and that's okay. What matters is that you maintain your belief in your vision and stay committed to your path, even when the path is unclear. Sustained imagination is the practice of consistently holding a clear and vivid mental picture of your desires until they manifest into reality. It is the continuous, deliberate use of your imagination to shape your circumstances, experiences, and future. While many people may experience fleeting moments of imagination or daydreams, sustained imagination goes beyond this. It is the persistent focus on a desired outcome, accompanied by the emotions and sensations of having already achieved it, until that vision is realized in the physical world. Imagination is a powerful tool, but its true potential is often untapped because most people don't hold on to their visions long enough for them to manifest. Sustained imagination requires mental discipline, a high level of focus, and the belief that what you imagine can indeed become your reality. It's not just about daydreaming or wishful thinking, it's about consistently dwelling in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, despite any external circumstances that may seem contradictory. This practice bridges the gap between the unseen, imagined world and the physical, experienced world. To understand the power of sustained imagination, it is important to first realize that the mind is the origin of all creation. Every innovation, discovery, or achievement in human history began as a thought, an idea that someone imagined and held on to until it became reality. Whether it's a work of art, a technological advancement, or a personal achievement, imagination precedes creation. Sustained imagination works in the same way. The longer and more vividly you can hold on to your vision, the more likely it is to come into being. The key to sustained imagination is not just visualizing your desired outcome once or twice, but consistently revisiting and reinforcing that mental picture. This involves regularly immersing yourself in the scene of your wish fulfilled, feeling the emotions of success, joy, or fulfillment as if your desire is already present. When you practice this regularly, your mind begins to accept the imagined reality as a fact. Over time, your subconscious mind aligns your actions, decisions, and perceptions with this new reality, guiding you toward the physical manifestation of your desire. One of the most important aspects of sustained imagination is emotion. It's not enough to simply picture your desire, you must feel as though it is already yours. Emotions are the fuel that powers the creative process. When you engage your emotions during your imaginative exercises, you strengthen the connection between your inner vision and the external world. The more vividly you can imagine and feel the experience of your desire fulfilled, the more powerful your sustained imagination becomes. This is because the subconscious mind responds more to emotions than to logic or reasoning. By feeling your desired outcome as though it is already true, you imprint that belief into your subconscious, which in turn influences your actions and circumstances to align with your vision. Maintaining sustained imagination can be challenging because of the distractions and doubts that inevitably arise. Life's external circumstances often conflict with our inner visions, causing us to lose focus or question the possibility of our desires. To overcome these challenges, you must learn to ignore the evidence of your senses when they don't align with your desired outcome. This is where the discipline of sustained imagination truly comes into play. Even if your current reality contradicts what you are imagining, you must remain steadfast in your vision. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to hold on to your imagination, despite external conditions. Another crucial element of sustained imagination is consistency. This means engaging in the process daily, making it a habitual part of your life. You can set aside specific times for visualization, such as during meditation, before bed, or upon waking. These are times when your mind is naturally more receptive to suggestion, and your imagination can operate more freely without the interference of everyday distractions. By committing to a regular practice of sustained imagination, you reinforce your desires and keep them active in your mind. Sustained imagination also involves having patience and trust in the process. Manifestation often takes time, and the results of your imagination may not appear immediately. It's important not to become discouraged if you don't see instant changes in your external reality. Understand that there is a natural gestation period for everything, and your desires will manifest in their own time. Trust that your sustained imagination is working, even if you can't see the evidence right away. Impatience or frustration can weaken the effectiveness of your imaginative efforts, so maintaining faith in the process is essential. In addition to trust and patience, another key component of sustained imagination is the ability to let go of the how and when it is not your job to figure out exactly how your desires will come to fruition or when they will manifest. Your role is to maintain the vision and the feeling of your desire fulfilled. The universe or your subconscious mind will take care of the details. This can be difficult for those who are used to controlling every aspect of their lives. But letting go of the need for control is an important part of the process. When you release the how and when you open yourself up to possibilities and solutions that you may not have considered. Sustained imagination also requires resilience, as setbacks and obstacles are inevitable. There will be times when it seems like your desire is not manifesting, or when life throws challenges in your way. These moments test your faith and commitment to your vision. It is during these times that sustained imagination is most crucial. Rather than allowing doubt or frustration to take over, you must continue to hold on to your vision, trusting that the obstacles are temporary and that your desired outcome is still within reach. By staying true to your imagination, even in the face of adversity, you demonstrate your belief in your vision's eventual manifestation. It's important to note that sustained imagination is not just about creating tangible results, such as material possessions or external success. It can also be used to create inner states of being, such as peace, happiness, and self-confidence. If you imagine yourself as calm, centered, and self-assured on a consistent basis, your inner world will begin to reflect those qualities, and over time they will manifest in your outer life as well. This is the true power of sustained imagination. It allows you to shape not only your external circumstances, but also your internal reality. Imagine for a moment that your life is a canvas, and your beliefs are the brushstrokes that paint the picture of your reality. Every thought, every feeling, and every belief you hold shapes the world around you. Your external life is merely a reflection of your internal state, and it is through your beliefs that this reflection is formed. Belief is a powerful force that shapes every aspect of our lives. It influences how we think, how we act, and ultimately the experiences we create. What you truly believe, deep down, is what will manifest in your life. It's easy to underestimate just how significant this truth is, but if you take a closer look at your life, you'll begin to see that your beliefs are the foundation of everything you experience. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly creating your reality through your beliefs. Every thought, every action, and every decision stems from what you hold to be true, even on a subconscious level. Belief goes beyond casual thinking. It isn't simply about wishing for something to happen or hoping for the best. Belief is about certainty, the kind that resonates through every part of you. It's a knowing, an unshakable conviction that what you desire is not only possible but already on its way to you. This conviction informs your behavior, your energy, and the way you move through the world. When you believe in something with complete certainty, you act in alignment with that belief. And that's when true change begins to happen. Consider for a moment the role of belief in success. Think about those who have achieved great things, whether in business, art, science, or personal growth. What sets these individuals apart is not necessarily that they are more talented or smarter than anyone else, but that they have an unwavering belief in their abilities and their potential. They believe in the possibility of success, even when there are no visible signs of it. This belief allows them to persevere in the face of challenges and obstacles, because they are guided by a deep inner knowing that success is inevitable. This doesn't mean they never experience doubt or fear. Of course they do, after all, they are human. But their core belief in their vision, their dreams, and themselves remains stronger than any temporary setbacks or negative emotions. They are driven by a sense of certainty that pushes them forward, no matter what stands in their way. The power of belief is evident in more than just grand achievements. It is reflected in the small, everyday moments of life as well. Think about how your beliefs shape your daily decisions, interactions, and behaviors. If you believe that you are capable and deserving of good things, you will naturally approach opportunities with a sense of confidence. You will make choices that support your growth and well-being because you believe that you deserve to thrive. On the other hand, if you hold limiting beliefs, if you believe that you are not good enough, not smart enough, or not deserving of success, you will make decisions that reinforce those beliefs. You might avoid taking risks, shy away from new opportunities, or settle for less than you truly want, because deep down you don't believe you are capable of more. These limiting beliefs act as invisible barriers, holding you back from realizing your true potential. The good news is that beliefs can be changed. They are not fixed or permanent. If you are willing to examine your current beliefs and recognize where they are limiting you, you can begin the process of shifting them. This requires self-awareness and honesty, as well as a willingness to let go of the beliefs that no longer serve you. Often these limiting beliefs have been ingrained in us from a young age, passed down from family, society, or past experiences. But just because a belief has been with you for a long time does not mean it has to stay with you forever. Changing your beliefs requires conscious effort and practice. One of the most effective ways to do this is through the power of visualization and affirmation. By consistently imagining and affirming the reality you desire, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind to accept new beliefs. Visualization is a tool that allows you to see yourself as the person you want to become, living the life you want to live. When you can see it clearly in your mind, you begin to believe that it is possible. Affirmations, on the other hand, are statements that you repeat to yourself to reinforce positive beliefs. These can be as simple as saying, "I am capable of achieving my goals," or "I deserve success and happiness." Over time, as you consistently practice these techniques, your subconscious mind begins to accept these new beliefs, and you start to see changes in your reality. It's important to note that belief is not just about thinking positive thoughts. While positive thinking is important, belief goes much deeper. It involves aligning your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions with what you want to create. This alignment is what gives belief its power. When you truly believe in something, you don't just think about it, you feel it. You feel the emotions associated with your belief as though your desire has already come to pass. This feeling is what activates the law of attraction and begins to draw the circumstances and opportunities into your life that will bring your desires into reality. The role of feeling in belief cannot be overstated. It is one thing to think, I want to be successful, but it is another thing entirely to feel the joy, excitement, and gratitude of already being successful. When you can tap into these emotions, you raise your vibration and align yourself with the energy of what you desire. The universe responds to this energy, reflecting back to you the reality that matches your emotional state. This is why belief is such a powerful creative force. It is not just about holding an intellectual idea in your mind, it is about fully embodying that belief emotionally and energetically. When your beliefs are in alignment with what you want, and you feel the emotions of already having it, you become a magnet for your desires. You begin to attract the people, situations, and resources that will help you bring your vision to life. But belief requires faith. It requires trusting in the unseen and having confidence in the process, even when there is no immediate evidence of your desires coming to fruition. This is often the hardest part of the journey, especially when you are faced with challenges or delays. But true belief does not waver in the face of adversity. It remains strong and steady, knowing that what you desire is already on its way to you. In these moments, it is important to hold on to your vision and continue to believe in your ability to create your reality. Even when things seem uncertain or difficult, your belief is what will carry you through. It will keep you focused, motivated, and aligned with your goals, no matter what challenges arise. Belief is the key to creating the life you desire. It is the foundation upon which all change and growth is built. When you believe in yourself and your ability to manifest your dreams, you unlock a limitless source of potential. You become the conscious creator of your reality, shaping your life in alignment with your highest desires and aspirations. Belief is not just a concept, it is a way of being. It is the force that shapes your thoughts, feelings, actions, and ultimately your reality. When you harness the power of belief, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Imagination is a force of incredible power, often overlooked or underestimated in our daily lives. It is not merely the capacity to form mental images or daydream about far-off fantasies. Rather, imagination is the engine of creation itself, the tool by which we shape our reality. What we imagine consistently, with focus and intention, lays the groundwork for what we ultimately experience in the external world. This is because imagination is not confined to the abstract, it is intimately connected to the forces of manifestation. When we allow ourselves to engage fully in the power of our imagination, we are entering a state where possibilities are endless. Everything that exists in our physical reality first began as a thought or a vision in someone's imagination. The homes we live in, the technology we use, the art we admire, all of it was born from someone's ability to envision something that did not yet exist. The act of creation begins in the mind, and through imagination, we bring ideas to life. Imagination enables us to break free from the limitations of our current circumstances. It allows us to step outside the constraints of the present moment and explore what could be, rather than what is. In this way, it becomes a crucial tool for transformation. Without imagination, we are stuck in the status quo, endlessly repeating the same patterns of thought and behavior. Imagination offers us an escape from this loop, providing a glimpse into a future that we can actively create. One of the most significant roles imagination plays is in visualization, a practice widely known in the fields of personal development and success. Visualization is the act of using your imagination to see your desired outcomes as though they have already come to fruition. It involves more than just casually thinking about what you want. It requires you to fully immerse yourself in the mental image of your desire, experiencing it with all your senses and feeling the emotions associated with its achievement. When you visualize something clearly and consistently, you are programming your subconscious mind to accept it as true. Your subconscious does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined with emotional intensity. As far as it is concerned, if you can see it and feel it, it must already exist. This is where imagination's true power lies. It acts as a bridge between your current reality and the one you wish to create. By visualizing your desired outcome, you are instructing your subconscious mind to begin aligning your actions, thoughts, and feelings with that future reality. The practice of using imagination for manifestation is rooted in the principle that everything begins with a thought. Every creation, invention, or achievement in human history started as an idea in someone's mind. Whether it was the invention of the airplane, the concept of space exploration, or the founding of a new business, these achievements were first visualized before they became tangible. The individual had to imagine the possibility, see it vividly in their mind's eye, and believe in it before taking action to bring it into reality. Imagination also allows us to rehearse success. Many high-performing athletes, for example, use visualization techniques to mentally practice their performance before they even step onto the field or court. They imagine every detail of the game, from how they will move to how they will feel as they achieve victory. This mental rehearsal primes their mind and body for success, making it more likely that they will perform at their best when the time comes. In the same way, anyone can use imagination to mentally rehearse success in any area of life, whether in career, relationships, or personal growth. Another vital aspect of imagination is that it helps us tap into our creative potential. Creativity is often seen as something that only artists or inventors possess, but the truth is, every human being is inherently creative. Our imagination is the source of this creativity, and it allows us to generate new ideas, solve problems, and think outside the box. When we actively engage our imagination, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and innovative solutions that we may not have considered otherwise. In addition to helping us create and visualize new realities, imagination can also serve as a powerful healing tool. It allows us to rewrite our mental narratives and reframe past experiences in a way that serves our growth. For example, if someone has experienced a painful or traumatic event, they can use their imagination to envision a different outcome or to see themselves as strong and empowered in the face of that event. By doing so, they can begin to shift their emotional response to the memory and move forward with a greater sense of healing and peace. Imagination also plays a critical role in developing empathy and understanding. When we use our imagination to place ourselves in someone else's shoes, we are able to see the world from their perspective, gaining insight into their emotions, struggles, and experiences. This ability to imagine another person's reality is essential for building strong relationships, fostering compassion, and creating a more empathetic society. Without imagination, we would be limited to our own subjective experience, unable to truly connect with others on a deeper level. Imagination is a key ingredient in maintaining hope and optimism. In times of difficulty or uncertainty, our ability to imagine a better future gives us the strength to persevere. When faced with obstacles, imagination allows us to see beyond the present moment and envision a time when things will improve. This sense of hope keeps us motivated and resilient, even in the face of adversity. Without imagination, it would be difficult to hold on to the belief that better days are ahead, as we would be trapped in the limitations of the current moment. It's important to recognize that imagination is not just a passive activity, it is a dynamic, active force. The more we engage with our imagination, the more powerful it becomes. Like a muscle, it strengthens with use. Many people go through life without fully tapping into the vast potential of their imagination, simply because they haven't cultivated the habit of using it regularly. But the more we practice using our imagination consciously, whether through visualization, creative expression, or problem solving, the more adept we become at shaping our reality with it. Imagination must be guided with intention. While it is a powerful tool, it can also lead us down unproductive paths if not directed properly. For instance, if we allow our imagination to focus on fear, worry, or negative outcomes, we are likely to manifest those very things in our lives. The mind tends to gravitate towards what it consistently focuses on, whether positive or negative. This is why it is essential to use our imagination constructively, focusing on the outcomes we desire rather than the ones we fear. Imagination is one of the most profound gifts we possess as human beings. It allows us to dream, to create, and to transcend the limitations of the present moment. It empowers us to shape our reality, not by reacting to what is, but by envisioning what could be. Whether we are using imagination to manifest our desires, solve problems, heal from past wounds, or connect with others, it plays a central role in every aspect of our lives. The possibilities of imagination are limitless, and when we harness its power with intention, we become the architects of our own destiny. Living in the end is a powerful concept that stems from the belief that your inner world, particularly your thoughts, feelings, and imagination, directly influences your external reality. It is the practice of aligning your consciousness with the state of having already achieved your desires, rather than waiting for external conditions to change before you feel fulfilled. By embodying the mindset and emotions of the end result, you create the conditions necessary for that reality to manifest. The principle is rooted in the idea that what you consistently believe and feel in your inner world is what ultimately shapes your outer experience. The concept of living in the end invites you to think and act as if your desire has already been fulfilled. This means letting go of any doubts or concerns about how or when it will come to pass. Instead of focusing on the obstacles or limitations that seem to stand in your way, you shift your focus to the feeling of already being the person you want to be, or already having the things you desire. This shift in perspective is not about pretending or forcing yourself to believe something that isn't true, but rather tuning into the reality that exists within your imagination and allowing it to become your dominant focus. When you live in the end, you are living from the perspective of your desired outcome, rather than toward it. For example, if your desire is to experience financial abundance, living in the end would mean embodying the mindset and feelings of someone who already has financial abundance. You would think, feel, and act as if the money you desire is already in your possession. You would make decisions and carry yourself with the confidence and security that comes from knowing that you are financially abundant. This doesn't mean spending recklessly or ignoring your current financial responsibilities. Instead, it means cultivating the inner state of abundance, knowing that your external circumstances will eventually align with your internal reality. One of the key aspects of living in the end is the practice of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This idea, made popular by teachers like Neville Goddard, suggests that the feelings you associate with your desired outcome are the creative forces that bring it into being. If you desire success, you must feel successful now. If you desire love, you must feel loved now. The more you can embody the feelings associated with your desire, the more you will align yourself with the vibration of that reality. This concept goes beyond mere positive thinking. It's about creating a state of being where your inner experience reflects the end result you want to achieve. The key is emotional intensity. It's not enough to just think about what you want in a detached or casual way. You must feel the emotions that come with already having your desire. These emotions act as a magnetic force, drawing the circumstances and opportunities necessary for your desire to manifest into your life. Living in the end also requires a deep level of trust and surrender. You must trust that your inner work is enough to bring about the changes you seek in your outer world. This trust allows you to let go of the need to control or manipulate external circumstances. When you live in the end, you stop looking for evidence that your desire is coming and instead focus on maintaining the inner state of fulfillment. The outer world will eventually reflect your inner state, but you must be patient and steadfast in your practice. This approach can be challenging, especially if your current circumstances are far from what you desire. It can be difficult to feel abundant when you're struggling financially, or to feel loved when you're experiencing loneliness. However, living in the end doesn't mean denying or ignoring your current reality. It means acknowledging your current circumstances while choosing to focus on the reality you wish to create. It means refusing to let your present situation dictate your inner state. Instead, you let your inner state dictate your outer reality. Living in the end also involves changing your self-concept. Your self-concept is the way you see yourself, and it plays a major role in what you attract into your life. If you see yourself as someone who is always struggling, always lacking, or always unlucky, you will continue to manifest situations that reflect that self-concept. However, if you change the way you see yourself and begin to view yourself as someone who is successful, abundant, and deserving of love, you will begin to attract experiences that align with that new self-concept. Changing your self-concept requires persistence and consistency. It may feel uncomfortable at first because you are essentially stepping into a new identity. However, with practice, it becomes easier to maintain the inner state of living in the end. Over time, your new self-concept will become your default state, and your outer reality will begin to shift in response. Another important aspect of living in the end is the principle of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean giving up on your desire or becoming indifferent to it. Instead, it means letting go of the need for your desire to manifest in a specific way or within a specific time frame. When you are truly living in the end, you are so aligned with the feeling of having your desire that you no longer feel anxious or impatient about its manifestation. You know that it's already yours, and you trust that it will come to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Detachment also means releasing any resistance you may have toward your desire. Resistance can take the form of negative beliefs, doubts, or fears about whether your desire is possible or whether you are worthy of it. These forms of resistance can block the manifestation of your desire because they create a vibrational mismatch between what you want and what you are currently feeling. By letting go of resistance and fully embracing the feeling of living in the end, you open yourself up to receive your desire effortlessly. In addition to detachment, persistence is a crucial element of living in the end. The process of manifestation doesn't always happen overnight. There may be times when your current reality seems to contradict the inner state you've been cultivating. In these moments, it's important to remain persistent in living in the end. Even when things seem to be moving slowly or not at all, continue to focus on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The more consistent you are in maintaining that inner state, the more you reinforce the belief that your desire is already a reality. Living in the end is a powerful and transformative practice that can fundamentally change the way you approach your desires in your life. It shifts the focus from external circumstances to internal alignment, emphasizing the importance of creating the inner conditions for your desire to manifest. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, changing your self-concept, practicing detachment, and remaining persistent, you can bring your desires into being and experience the reality you've always dreamed of. Living in the end is about taking responsibility for your inner world and recognizing that you are the creator of your own reality. Your thoughts, feelings, and imagination are powerful tools that shape the experiences you have in the external world. When you learn to consciously direct these tools toward the outcome you desire, you unlock the ability to create a life that reflects your deepest desires and highest aspirations. The journey of living in the end is one of empowerment, self-discovery, and transformation, and it holds the key to manifesting the life you truly want. Emotional alignment is one of the most important aspects of manifesting your desired reality. It refers to the congruence between your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with what you want to create in your life. In simple terms, emotional alignment means that the emotions you feel are in harmony with the reality you seek to manifest. When you are emotionally aligned, you feel good about your desires, trust in their fulfillment, and remain connected to a sense of inner peace and joy, even if they have not yet materialized in the physical world. Emotions are the driving force behind the manifestation process because they carry energy that amplifies the thoughts and beliefs you hold. Your emotional state is essentially the signal you send out to the universe, and it determines the experiences you attract into your life. Positive emotions such as joy, gratitude, love, and excitement resonate at a high frequency and attract circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with those feelings. Conversely, negative emotions such as fear, doubt, frustration, and anxiety operate at a lower frequency and tend to attract situations that match that emotional energy. Therefore, maintaining emotional alignment with your desires is crucial to creating the life you want. One of the first steps in achieving emotional alignment is becoming aware of your emotions and how they relate to your desires. It's important to regularly check in with yourself and ask, how do I feel about what I want? If you notice that your emotions are predominantly negative, it's a sign that there is a disconnect between your desires and your emotional state. This disconnect could stem from limiting beliefs, past experiences, or fears that need to be addressed and healed. For example, if you desire financial abundance but feel anxious or fearful about money, you may have underlying beliefs that money is scarce or difficult to obtain. These beliefs create emotional resistance, which blocks the flow of abundance into your life. Emotional alignment involves shifting these negative emotions into positive ones that support your desires. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing your negative emotions, but rather acknowledging them, understanding their root cause, and consciously choosing to replace them with emotions that align with the outcome you want to create. One way to do this is through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful emotional state that can instantly raise your vibration and shift your focus toward the positive aspects of your life. By regularly expressing gratitude for what you already have, as well as for what you desire, as if it has already manifested, you align your emotions with the energy of abundance and fulfillment. Visualization is another powerful tool for achieving emotional alignment. When you visualize your desired reality in vivid detail, you not only engage your mind but also your emotions. The key is to immerse yourself in the feeling of already having what you want. For example, if you're visualizing a new home, imagine walking through it, feeling the warmth of the space, and experiencing the joy and comfort of living there. The more you can emotionally connect with your visualization, the more aligned you become with your desire. This practice helps bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be by bringing your emotions into harmony with your vision. A crucial aspect of emotional alignment is recognizing and releasing resistance. Resistance can take many forms, such as doubt, fear, impatience, or the need for control. These emotions signal a lack of trust in the manifestation process and can hinder the flow of what you desire. For instance, if you're constantly worrying about how or when your desire will come to pass, you are not emotionally aligned with the feeling of already having it. Instead, you're focused on the absence of your desire, which keeps you stuck in a state of lack. To release resistance, it's essential to cultivate trust in the universe or the higher power you believe in. Trust that everything is unfolding in divine timing and that what you desire is already on its way to you. This trust allows you to let go of the need to control the outcome and instead focus on maintaining a positive emotional state. Another important element of emotional alignment is self-awareness. You need to be aware of the emotional triggers that can pull you out of alignment and into negative thought patterns. These triggers can include external circumstances, interactions with others, or even your own inner dialogue. When you become conscious of what triggers negative emotions, you can take steps to shift your focus back to a state of emotional alignment. This might involve engaging in practices like meditation, deep breathing, journaling, or affirmations to center yourself and return to a positive emotional state. Affirmations are particularly effective for reprogramming your mind and emotions. Positive affirmations are statements that reflect the reality you want to create, and when repeated consistently, they help shift your beliefs and emotional state. For example, if your desire is to improve your health, you might repeat affirmations like, "I am healthy, vibrant, and full of energy over time." These affirmations help you align your emotions with the feeling of being healthy, which in turn attracts experiences that support your health goals. It's also important to understand that emotional alignment doesn't mean you have to feel positive all the time. Negative emotions are a natural part of life, and it's unrealistic to expect yourself to never feel fear, doubt, or frustration. However, the goal is not to dwell on these emotions, but to process them and then shift back to a state of emotional alignment. It's about creating a consistent emotional baseline that is in harmony with your desires, rather than allowing negative emotions to dominate your experience. Emotional alignment requires practice and patience. It's a skill that develops over time, and the more you work on aligning your emotions with your desires, the easier it becomes. One way to build emotional alignment is to create a daily routine that supports your emotional well-being. This could include practices like gratitude journaling, visualization, meditation, or spending time in nature. By making emotional alignment a daily priority, you strengthen your ability to stay connected to the feelings that support your desires. One of the benefits of emotional alignment is that it creates a sense of ease and flow in your life. When you are emotionally aligned, you no longer feel the need to force or struggle to achieve your goals. Instead, you are able to take inspired action from a place of joy and confidence, knowing that the universe is working in your favor. This doesn't mean that challenges or obstacles won't arise, but rather that you will be better equipped to handle them without losing your emotional alignment. You will be able to navigate difficult situations with grace and trust, knowing that everything is ultimately leading you toward your desired outcome. Emotional alignment also has a positive impact on your relationships. When you are emotionally aligned with your desires, you radiate a sense of inner peace, confidence, and fulfillment, which naturally attracts positive interactions with others. You become less reactive to external circumstances and more focused on maintaining your inner state of well-being. This allows you to show up as your best self in your relationships, creating a ripple effect of positivity in your interactions with others. The law of assumption is a powerful concept that suggests that whatever you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, will manifest in your reality. This idea stems from the belief that your assumptions, beliefs, and feelings create your experiences, shaping the world around you. The law of assumption teaches that you have the power to change your life by changing the assumptions you hold about yourself, others, and the circumstances you encounter. When you assume a certain state of being, the universe aligns to make that assumption a reality. At its core, the law of assumption is grounded in the idea that your inner world, your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions shapes your outer reality. It emphasizes the creative power of the mind and the importance of taking control of your inner dialogue to align with the reality you want to experience. According to this law, the world around you is a reflection of your dominant assumptions. If you assume success, abundance, and happiness, those things will begin to appear in your life. Conversely, if you assume failure, lack, and hardship, you will encounter those experiences. The law of assumption operates through the principle that your thoughts and beliefs influence your behavior, choices, and the way you perceive the world. When you assume a certain outcome or state of being, you begin to act in ways that align with that assumption. For instance, if you assume that you are capable of achieving a specific goal, you will naturally take steps toward making that goal a reality. You will also interpret events and circumstances in a way that supports your assumption. On the other hand, if you assume that you will fail, your actions and perceptions will reflect that belief, leading to self-sabotage or missed opportunities. One of the key aspects of the law of assumption is that it operates on the principle of persistence. It's not enough to briefly assume a positive outcome or state of being. You must hold on to that assumption with unwavering faith and conviction. This is often where people struggle, as doubts and fears can easily creep in, causing them to revert to their old assumptions. However, the law of assumption requires you to persist in the assumption of your desired state, even when external circumstances may suggest otherwise. By maintaining a strong inner belief, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. A crucial point to understand about the law of assumption is that it bypasses logic and reason. It is not concerned with whether your assumption seems realistic or achievable based on your current circumstances. Instead, it focuses on the power of belief and the creative force of your imagination. This means that you can assume the impossible and, through persistence and emotional alignment, bring that assumption into reality. The law of assumption teaches that reality is not fixed, it is fluid and malleable, shaped by your thoughts and beliefs. Therefore, if you want to change your life, you must begin by changing your assumptions. To fully harness the power of the law of assumption, it's essential to cultivate self-awareness. Many of the assumptions you hold may be unconscious, formed through past experiences, societal conditioning, or the influence of others. These unconscious assumptions can sabotage your efforts to manifest your desires if they are not aligned with what you truly want. For example, if you desire financial abundance, but have an underlying assumption that money is difficult to come by, or that you are not worthy of wealth, you will struggle to manifest abundance. Therefore, identifying and changing these limiting assumptions is a critical step in the process of manifestation. One way to begin shifting your assumptions is by consciously choosing new beliefs and assumptions that align with your desired reality. This requires a deliberate effort to change the way you think and feel about yourself and your circumstances. For example, if you want to manifest love, you can start by assuming that you are worthy of love, that the perfect partner is already on their way to you, and that you are already in a loving relationship. By holding these assumptions consistently, you create an inner state of being that aligns with the experience of love, and the universe responds by bringing that experience into your life. Visualization is a powerful tool for working with the law of assumption. When you visualize your desired outcome, you engage your imagination and emotions, creating a vivid mental picture of the reality you wish to manifest. The key to effective visualization is to imagine yourself already living in the end result of your desire. This means fully immersing yourself in the feeling of having already achieved what you want. For instance, if you are visualizing a new job, imagine yourself in that role, feeling confident and successful, interacting with colleagues, and enjoying the rewards of your work. By assuming that this is your current reality, you send a clear signal to the universe to bring it into being. Another important aspect of the law of assumption is emotional alignment. Your emotions play a significant role in the manifestation process because they carry energy that amplifies your assumptions. When you assume a certain state of being, it's essential to align your emotions with that assumption. If your desired outcome is happiness and success, but you constantly feel anxious or doubtful, your emotional state will contradict your assumption, making it harder for your desire to manifest. Therefore, it's important to cultivate positive emotions that support your assumptions, such as joy, gratitude, and excitement. The law of assumption also teaches the importance of living in the end. This means acting as if your desired outcome has already occurred and embodying the state of being that aligns with that reality. For example, if you want to manifest a successful business, start behaving and thinking like a successful entrepreneur. Make decisions from the mindset of someone who has already achieved success, rather than waiting for external validation before you take action. By living in the end, you reinforce your assumption and create a powerful energetic alignment with your desired reality. It's important to remember that the law of assumption works both positively and negatively. Just as you can use it to manifest your desires, you can also manifest unwanted experiences if you hold negative assumptions. For instance, if you constantly assume that people will treat you poorly or that things will go wrong, those assumptions will manifest in your life. Therefore, it's crucial to be mindful of the assumptions you hold and to consciously choose beliefs that support the reality you want to create. One of the challenges people often face with the law of assumption is dealing with the gap between their current reality and their desired reality. It can be difficult to maintain faith in your assumption when external circumstances appear to contradict it. However, the key is to persist in your assumption regardless of what is happening in the physical world. Remember that your current reality is a reflection of your past assumptions, and it may take time for your new assumptions to fully materialize. Trust in the process and continue to hold your desired state of being in your mind and heart. It's important to approach the law of assumption with a sense of detachment. While it's essential to hold a strong belief in your desired outcome, it's equally important not to become overly attached to how or when it will manifest. Attachment to the outcome can create resistance and block the flow of manifestation. Instead, focus on maintaining your inner state of alignment and trust that the universe will bring your desire to fruition in the best possible way and at the right time. By letting go of the need to control the outcome, you allow the universe to work its magic and bring your assumption into reality effortlessly. Faith in the unseen is one of the most profound and transformative principles that governs the human experience. It requires a deep sense of trust, belief, and conviction in the existence and manifestation of something that has not yet materialized in the physical realm. At its core, faith in the unseen is about believing in possibilities that lie beyond our immediate perception. It's the quiet assurance that what we desire or envision will come to pass, even when there is no visible evidence to support that belief. The concept of faith in the unseen can be traced through various spiritual, philosophical, and metaphysical teachings. It's a universal principle that transcends religious boundaries and speaks to the inner workings of the human mind and spirit. Faith allows us to navigate the unknown with confidence, trusting that the unseen forces of the universe are aligning in our favor. This type of faith is often referred to as blind faith, not because it is irrational or uninformed, but because it requires a surrender to the greater intelligence that governs all things. One of the key aspects of faith in the unseen is its ability to influence the way we perceive and interact with the world. When you have faith in something that is not yet visible, you begin to act, think, and feel as though it already exists. This is not merely a psychological trick, but a powerful creative force that shapes your reality. The energy you project when you have faith in the unseen sends a clear message to the universe that you are ready to receive what you desire. It signals your openness to new possibilities, even when the current circumstances suggest otherwise. Faith in the unseen also has a unique relationship with time. Unlike doubt or fear, which tend to focus on immediate outcomes or obstacles, faith operates on a different timeline. It's not bound by the constraints of the present moment. When you have faith, you don't need to know exactly when or how your desired outcome will manifest. You simply trust that it will happen in divine timing, in the perfect way that serves your highest good. This aspect of faith requires patience and the ability to let go of control. It challenges you to release the need for immediate gratification and to trust in the process of life. Many spiritual teachings emphasize the importance of faith as a means of bridging the gap between the physical and the non-physical. The unseen realm is often associated with the world of spirit, energy, and infinite possibilities. Faith acts as the bridge that allows us to tap into this realm and bring our desires into the physical world. It is through faith that we align ourselves with the creative forces of the universe, allowing us to manifest our intentions. In this sense, faith is not passive, it is an active force that propels us toward our goals. Another key component of faith in the unseen is persistence. Faith is not a one-time act, it's a continuous state of being. It requires you to maintain your belief even when the outer world gives you no reason to do so. Persistence in faith means holding on to your vision and trusting the process, regardless of setbacks, delays, or challenges. This kind of faith is resilient and unshakable. It doesn't waver in the face of temporary adversity because it is rooted in a deep knowing that what is unseen will eventually become seen. One of the most rewarding aspects of faith in the unseen is the personal growth that comes from practicing it. Faith builds resilience, strength, and inner peace. It helps you develop a greater sense of trust in yourself and in the universe. Over time, as you experience the manifestation of your desires through faith, your confidence in the unseen grows. You begin to see that the invisible forces at work are just as real, if not more so, than the physical world around you. This realization deepens your spiritual connection and empowers you to continue creating your reality with intention.